Hamza, the youngest, a man of prodigious strength, instructed Muhammad in the martial arts, making him a skilled archer and competent swordsman. His uncle, Abbas, a banker, was able to get Muhammad a job managing the caravans on the northern leg of the journey to Syria. The young Muhammad was well liked in Mecca. He was handsome, with a compact, solid body of average height. His hair and beard were thick and curly, and he had a strikingly luminous expression and a smile of enormous charm, which is mentioned in all the sources. He was decisive and wholehearted in everything he did, so intent on the task at hand that he never looked over his shoulder, even if his cloak got caught in a thorny bush. When he did turn to speak to somebody, he used to swing his entire body around and address him full face. When he shook hands, he was never the first to withdraw his own. He inspired such confidence that he was known as Al-Amin, the reliable one. But his orphan status constantly held him back. He had wanted to marry his cousin Khadijah, but Abu Talib had to refuse his request for her hand, gently pointing out that Muhammad could not afford to support a wife, and made a more advantageous match for her. But when Muhammad was about 25 years old, his luck suddenly changed. Khadijah bint al-Khuwaylid, a distant relative, asked him to take a caravan into Syria for her. She came from the clan of Asad, which was now far more influential than Hashim, and since her husband had died, she had become a successful merchant. Urban life often gives elite women the opportunity to flourish in business, though women of the lower classes had no status at all in Mecca. Muhammad conducted the expedition so competently that Khadijah was impressed and proposed marriage to him. She needed a new husband, and her talented kinsman was a suitable choice. "I like you because of our relationship," she told him, "and your high reputation among your people, your trustworthiness, good character, and truthfulness." Some of Muhammad's critics have sneered at this timely match with the wealthy widow, but this was no marriage of convenience. Muhammad loved Khadijah dearly, and even though polygamy was the norm in Arabia, he never took another younger wife while she was alive. Khadijah was a remarkable woman, determined, noble, and intelligent, says the historian Ibn Ishaq, Muhammad's first biographer. She was the first to recognize her husband's genius, and, perhaps because he had lost his mother at such a young age, he depended upon her emotionally and relied on her advice and support. After her death, he used to infuriate some of his later wives by endlessly singing her praises in her late 30s when she married Muhammad and bore him at least 6 children. Their 2 sons, Al-Qasim and Abdullah, died in infancy, but Muhammad adored his daughters, Zainab, Ruqayya, Kulthum, and Fatima. It was a happy household, even though Muhammad insisted on giving a high proportion of their income to the poor. He also brought 2 needy boys into the family. On their wedding day, Khadijah had presented him with a young slave called Zayd ibn al-Harith from one of the northern tribes. He became so attached to his new master that when his family came to Mecca with the money to ransom him, Zayd begged to be allowed to remain with Muhammad, who adopted him and gave him his freedom.